When I was just a little kid in the 60s, I used to lay in the grass and just stare at the sky and dream about flying. And if an airliner flew overhead, oh, I was so wrapped up with curiosity. What kind of plane? Where was it going? I could just stare at the sky and daydream for hours. Unfortunately, I could also do the same thing in class when I was supposed to be studying. And one day my teacher told me, Max, wake up and pay attention. No one's ever going to pay you to sit and stare out a window. Well, I showed her. Well, hello, Glue Troopers. Had a lot to do today, but the wife and I got over to our local comic book novelty store, Mythical Mountain. And for those who haven't been there, it's in Jacksonville, Florida. It's a pretty neat place. It has all kinds of movie and superhero memorabilia and stuff like that. And, of course, comic books and all that sort of stuff. We enjoy going over there once in a while. She was able to find a few things she needed. And I got to admit, some folks, the stuff they make's pretty creative crossovers. They also had some vintage toys. Not really the kind of thing I'm into, but maybe some of you guys had the Blue Thunderbird. And, of course, they had a very expensive Godzilla, which is, I guess this is a resin statue. I'm not really that familiar with it, but and they had a fair amount of kaiju stuff. I didn't really see anything interesting that was King Kong, but, stuff goes. They had the Gundams very well represented. That makes up almost their entire model supply is Mecha, except for the old NPC TJ Hooker car and a Lunar Models B9 robot. A lot of cool stuff there. We swung by Michael's and next door. That's all they had right there. And they said that it's not that they're getting out of models. They claim they just haven't been able to get any in stock. I suppose it's a delivery issue. It just reminds me of how lucky I am to have Hurricane Hobbies nearby. Speaking of hobby shops, unfortunately, I received a message that Dean's Hobby Shop in Michigan is going to be closing. So for all you guys up there, that's some sad news. I'm sorry to hear that. On the upside, apparently Squadron Shop Publishing is printing books again. So that's something. We took care of the ants today, but on the way out, I learned that the Muscovy ducks apparently have moved in or trying to take over the neighborhood. Well, they better be careful because they taste a lot better than ants. Just kidding. Right now on the desk, I have this bazooka I'm doing for one of my wife's dolls. I need to recolor that into a gunmetal gray. That olive drab isn't going to get it. And I told you guys I was going to be cleaning out the garage and moving the boxes around and stuff, and I made good on that. I actually got almost all, except for a few of the rarer boxes, I pretty much got all of the boxes moved up into the attic because the garage was to the point I couldn't move around in it. And now I have maneuvering room again. And it feels good to have that kind of elbow room. Well, I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Sachs. He sent me some Vacuform kits, and I really appreciate that. One of them is the O-47B observation aircraft. That's an unusual one. That'll make an interesting model. And the other one is the AT-9 multi-engine trainer, known as the Jeep. And, of course, the Vultee vibrator, the BT-13, classic airplane. I actually looked at trying to buy one of those, a real one time, but it was just outside of my reach, and I couldn't afford to feed it. But at some point, when I can get around to these, I'm going to actually do an entire thing on Vacuform kits because they're sort of a subspecialty, and, it helps to build a little internal structure for them, and they've got their own tricks. I've never really done one justice, and I'd like to. Well, that's really all I got for right now. Hadn't gotten a lot of building done today because it was mostly cleaning, but now everything's looking better, and time to build, start my build-a-thon. Well, guys, take care of yourselves. Hope you're doing well, and as always, model on.